Welcome to the NTN Nightly. I'm Nisha Charles. This edition's top stories. Government continues its plan for a safer and more secure Saint Lucia. 2020 welcomes a new brand of credit union, and OECs member states excel at the 2020 Caribbean Travel Awards. The government of Saint Lucia is continuing on its path to a safer and more secure Saint Lucia. That path has been outlined in its medium-term development plan for 2019 to 2022. The plan speaks to the strengthening of the island's capacity for investigation and prosecution. An integral element is surveillance. Against that backdrop, Honorable Shastney revealed an increase in the stock of closed-circuit television CCTV cameras on island. As we hear from Janelle Norville, not only are more cameras being installed, but the technological capabilities are cutting edge.
As part of the government's efforts of restructuring the economy and putting the country on a sustainable path to growth, it developed a medium-term development plan for the period 2019 to 2022. This plan identifies 6 key areas, including citizen safety, under which the government aims to achieve a 45% reduction in serious crimes by the end of the strategy term in 2022 and a 30% reduction in repeat offending by that same year. This radical and long overdue approach, according to Prime Minister the Honorable Alan Shastney, will focus on better policing, greater efficiency in the legal system, the rehabilitation of offenders, and strengthening the justice system. The Prime Minister explained that the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force has been equipped with new resources to help it execute its duties more effectively. These resources include but are not limited to 180 new CCTV cameras, with $11 million already allocated to secure another 380 cameras to be installed across the island.
I'm putting a new communication system so that all of the police officers going out now have a VHS system in their vehicles. All of the police stations now have VHS systems. So in fact, we have a different communication system that integrates the entire police force. The firemen and also Marine police have been included, so they've got waterproof handsets. We now have a centralized call center that both fire and police emergencies come straight to that command center. That command center is also now attached to the cameras. So if you make a phone call and there happens to be a camera in your vicinity, immediately upon the screen, that comes up. And we now have crisis rooms, meaning that we have rooms with multiple of TVs, monitors, and so that if there's a crisis taking place on the country, that there has a team that can be dedicated to that without affecting the other day-to-day operations.
Police statistics indicate an increase in burglaries, robberies, and vehicular theft across the island. With the aim of reducing crime by 10% in 2019, Prime Minister Shastney highlighted a thrust towards increasing boots on the ground. Already 14 new officers have joined the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force. The proposed border control unit is to come on stream, utilizing the expertise of highly trained police officers who have been stationed at the Immigration Department. He indicated that the judiciary is also being bolstered, with a number of magistrates being hired. The Prime Minister underscored the importance of the judiciary in the crime-fighting strategy.
Clearly, guns are a problem. And while you have to only have a licensed gun, I am very disturbed by the fact that the magistrates in particular continue to allow people who have been convicted or on remand for other crimes and are being caught again with illegal firearms and ammunition, and they're being given bail for a very little amount of money. And I have to say, I have to join my voice in recent days of the Rastamen who were arrested and charged with having seeds and given an $8,000 fine and confined to jail, particularly in light of the discourse that's taking place. I mean, and so how can that same magistrate turn around and give somebody with an illegal firearm less time or no time in jail and give them bail for less than $5,000?
The public too must get on board, as community and social clubs and neighborhood watches are all integral to fighting crime. Prime Minister Shasney asserted that crime must be tackled on a holistic front. For the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norville.
Increasing applications from non-public servants, especially younger people, and the availability of digital tools for the conduct of financial transactions is driving the Saint Lucia Civil Service Cooperative Credit Union to meet the demand for change in its style of service. The Saint Lucia Civil Services Cooperative Credit Union wants you to say hello to their new rebranded credit union called JANU. December 14, 2019 was an historic day for the Saint Lucia Civil Service Cooperative Credit Union, officially unveiled its new brand to members and well-wishers. Representatives of the Executive Board and Management of JANU emphasized that rebranding did not change the board, management, values, member shares, or all the benefits members currently enjoy. General Manager Emlyn Monrose explains.
The Executive Board and Management of the Credit Union in the latter part of the 2010s had to ask ourselves, what is our brand saying? Is it this brand saying 21st century? Is this brand speaking to the over 90% of new members who are not civil servants? Is this brand, when placed side by side with the brand communications of multinational commercial banks telling members of the younger generation, this is a financial institution of the future? The answer was a resounding no. The problem was not our history, our values, our vision. The problem was not our members. It was not the value of our savings and credit products and services. All those things will remain as strong as they ever would. It was our look, our communication, our logo, our presentation. They will not convey everything we have been becoming and everything we intend to be.
The president of the credit union, Junior Emmanuel Belizaire, made it clear that existing and new membership had expanded far outside the civil service.
Over the last few years, we have seen less than 10% of new members to the credit union coming in from the civil service. And as Ms. Morris said, 90% are non-civil servants right now. And our facts show that. In order for our credit union to thrive in this era, our brand must evolve. We need to reach the children and grandchildren, as we said before, nieces and nephews, siblings and spouses of current members who are not civil servants and never will be. We also need not to forget the civil servants who have not joined our family. When you care about those who you serve, you care about how they see you, what messages and images you project about yourself. You care enough to do internal reflection and, if necessary, make essential changes to ensure that you keep your relationship relevant. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what our credit union has done.
There was a lot of excitement when Deputy General Manager Celestine Laura announced that the website www.janu.org was live and explained some of the ways that the new JANU Credit Union will be meeting the needs of this generation.
But the real deal is the JANU welcome, okay? A welcome that only a trusted friend can deliver. JANU will continue the delivery of excellent customer service that is unrivaled in the financial services sector. But there's more. Soon you will see extensive renovations done to JANU's offices. The clear objective of these renovations is to improve members' experience. Picture a modern head office with comfortable seating and more facilities for the elderly and disabled. We want to ensure that when you come into our offices, it feels like you are in the presence of friends and family. Rapidly on the heels of this rebranding will be the introduction of our ATM debit card services. This will not only offer convenience, but reduce the foot traffic in our offices. Next, you will see apps such as online banking, mobile wallets, that provide even more accessibility. And that's pertinent because the youth now are high-tech and innovative And things like mobile wallets will surely interest them in joining the credit union.
Janu received the endorsement of Minister for Equity, Social Justice, Empowerment, Youth Development, Sports and Local Government, Honorable Leonard Montoute.
So I'm happy to hear, along with the branding, is not just a new name, but it is a new approach, and I welcome that. And let me say, as Minister of the Social Services, I don't know if you're aware of it, but you are assisting me in dispensing of my duties. Because what we do primarily as social service ministry is to elevate people, to improve lives, and to take people out of poverty and indigence and to bring them to an acceptable standard of living. The services you provide go a long way in facilitating that. I know there are many people who have been able to build themselves a home because of the more favorable, more lenient requirements of your institution for accessing funds.
Support for the rebranding also came from senior members.
It's something that our younger members and even the more astute members have been asking for more financial online services, and the society now is very proud to have that, to start that process. And going forward, I think it's going to augur well for the society in that members would be a lot more interested in the services and everything else that the society has to offer.
On Monday, 16th December 2019, all offices were rebranded. Extensive building renovations are expected in 2020, which will truly reflect the warmth, friendliness, yet modern and technologically savvy Janu brand. Healthcare facilities across Saint Lucia are in better working condition to serve the public as retrofitting works under the Smart Healthcare Facilities project have been completed. Most recently completed works were at the Moshi, Entrepot, Tiroche Castries, Babonneau and Grand Riviere Wellness Centers. We take a look at the progress made in 2019.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness, in partnership with the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO, is currently undertaking the Smart Healthcare Facilities in the Caribbean project in Saint Lucia. The project is geared towards building resilience in the health sector. Speaking on the program in focus, engineer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Monty Emmanuel, explained that out of the island's 34 facilities, 12 of them were selected in the initial stage of the project. 6 of these facilities have been completed, with 6 to be completed by the end of the year.
So the concept is a safe concept, meaning that you have a structure that is resilient to disaster. And the green concept is very environmentally friendly. You're trying to lower your carbon footprint within the facilities in terms of getting rid of mercury and keeping the facilities greener in terms of lighting and solar panels, reducing that consumption to bring the facilities to a level of savings, energy savings and any other savings within the sector. So that is the actual concept of SMART.
With the implementation of the project, healthcare facilities on the island are expected to be safer, greener and more resilient to natural disasters. The engineer explained the process undertaken by the ministry to meet the standards of a smart healthcare facility.
In the beginning, when we started the project, it took a little while because we had to get a lot of baselines for the project, because Saint Lucia now, we had to take readings of all our electricity supplies. We had to go and train persons to go and do structural assessments of all the facilities. So we've assessed all the health centers on the island. We know the current condition, so we know the state of all the facilities on the island. So from that, we decided with the project that we're going to take a systems approach and start repairing our health centers to a level of SMART. SMART has now given themselves an A70, where A is safe and 70 is the level of greenness of your facility. So once you get that level of A70, you're now a smart facility. I mean, it's in right now, St. Vincent has a smart facility, Grenada. So we're now on board with that project.
All 34 health facilities on the island are expected to undergo the transformation to smart healthcare facilities. The Smart Healthcare Facilities in the Caribbean project is currently implemented in 4 participating countries: Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The project is funded by the United Kingdom's Department for International Development, DFID. For the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norville.
And this is the NTN Nightly. We'll be back in a moment.
The effective management of the marine resources depends heavily on compliance. To ensure that these resources continue to thrive and provide the best local seafood, fishers, vendors, and consumers must be aware of the fishery seasons. Here is the season chart for lobster. Adhere to the schedule. Help maintain a thriving fishing industry for all of us. This has been a message from the Department of Fisheries.
Welcome back. The government of Saint Lucia remains focused not only on reducing poverty, but ensuring a higher standard of living for the people of Saint Lucia. This is being done through a number of programs and initiatives under the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, Local Government and Empowerment. Minister responsible, Honorable Leonard Montoute, indicated that changes in the country's family dynamics have made other programs necessary, one such program being the Home Caregivers program. The minister highlighted the need for a unit specifically to deal with matters pertaining to the elderly, such as pensions and care. He added, however, that such a unit does not absolve family members of their responsibility.
The onus should not be just on government. As you quite rightly indicated, I've said that the family has to play a role. Because even if the government steps in, given the fact that we have limited resources, we cannot provide everything that would be required. If the family plays a part, then much more can be achieved. Not only that, but even when we provide institutions, there's no question, there's no doubt that the family environment, the home setting, is a far more comfortable and more suitable setting for the individual than it would be at an institution. Taking someone to an institution very often is taking them away from their environment. And it requires a major adjustment. And so if we can have, for instance, even at the community level, what I have advocated, daycares, just like we have daycares for children, we can have daycares for the elderly, where they are within the community. The other elderly people who would be at that daycare are people whom they know from their community. It would facilitate the family in going to work, not having to institutionalize those elderly people, whether it be their parents and so on. And that on evenings, just like you do with your children, you meet them and take them home and so on. I think that can go a long way in reducing the burden on the institutions, and at the same time improving the quality of life of the elderly, and at the same time facilitating the family members who have no choice but to go out to earn an income.
Data from the Central Statistics Office indicated that elderly persons 70 years and older increased by approximately 9.7% from 9,949 in 2011 to 10,918 in 2018. Honorable Montoute explained that in an effort to address the issue, significant effort must be put into reteaching family values. While the existing population continues to age, another issue has become apparent. He indicated that while the government can incentivize procreation, a greater premium must be placed on family.
If I know that there is proper daycare facilities, for example, early childhood education centers, that makes life easier for me with my child. If we go back to the extended family structure, the burden of rearing a child, raising a child, nurturing a child becomes a lot lighter. If with the very family values that we have, the support system would be in place, because you have, I'm not a single parent. There are many people, not just my spouse, but other members of the family who chip in where needs be and so on. I think there are things government can do to incentivize without going overboard given the limited resources that we have. Facilitation, that's what I'm talking about there right now. Putting some institutions in place, get to the point where we make education, for example, cheaper. That is one of the big elements that is of concern. And ensuring that we have job opportunities. And that is what most governments aim to do, bring about investment, create the right environment for thriving commerce and business development. If all of that is in place, then I don't see a problem. I think we can have an economy that can sustain a bigger population. The bigger population, that will sustain the economy.
The minister made these revelations when he appeared on the NTN's program In Focus. The Organization of Eastern Caribbean States has congratulated OECs member states who topped the Caribbean Journal's 2020 Caribbean Travel Awards, winning 8 of the 21 prestigious tourism honors. This year's Caribbean Travel Awards included winners across 21 categories, selected by Caribbean Journal's editorial staff and its network of contributors. The 5 OECs Destination Award winners selected were Saint Lucia, winning the Caribbean Tourism Minister of the Year Award and the Caribbean Chef of the Year Award. Antigua and Barbuda won the New All-Inclusive of the Year and the Caribbean Spa of the Year Award. St. Kitts and Nevis won the Cruise Destination of the Year Award. Martinique won the Culinary Destination of the Year Award. The Commonwealth of Dominica copped the Luxury Destination of the Year Award and the New Hotel of the Year Award. Tourism specialist at the OECs Commission, Maria Fowler, highlighted the importance of these awards as an acknowledgement of the key achievements of multiple stakeholders in the tourism industry. And this is the NTN Nightly. Do stay with us.
Hypertension is a deadly disease that is common in Saint Lucia. We depend on blood pressure monitors to determine if our blood pressure is too high or too low. Should a reading on these measuring devices be incorrect, we are literally putting our lives at risk. Doctors, caregivers, and patients, get your blood pressure meters verified by the Saint Lucia Bureau of Standards to ensure the accuracy of measuring devices. Look for the green pass sticker on the blood pressure meter at your next visit to the doctor. The correct reading can mean the difference between life and death.
For more information, contact the Saint Lucia Bureau of Standards at 456-0546 or email slbs@candw.lc or visit the website at www.slbs.org.lc. Saint Lucia Bureau of Standards, making quality and standards our way of life.
And here's a look at what's happening to us weather-wise. Fair skies becoming cloudy at times with a few scattered showers. Brings us to the end of the NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the Saint Lucia Government Facebook page or YouTube channel. I'm Nisha Charles.